Breaking overnight, China takes action. The country promised retaliation after the government shut down its consulate in Montrose. Janelle Fort joins us with the latest. And Janelle, what have we learned overnight?
Steph, the Chinese are taking an eye for an eye approach. They're responding by ordering the U.S. to close its consulate in the Chinese city of Chengdu. It's the latest move as diplomatic tensions between the two nations escalate. Now, as we've reported, Chinese officials have until 4 p.m. today to vacate their consulate here in Houston. The order to close came after the Trump administration accused Chinese agents of trying to steal medical and other research. In Texas, the Chinese Foreign Ministry has appealed to Washington to reverse what it refers to as the, quote, wrong decision. The ministry went on to warn that the Houston consulate's closure is breaking down the bridge of friendship between the two countries. But U.S. leaders say this was an important action to protect Americans' privacy and intellectual property. Not much going on here at the consulate this morning, but we will be sticking around to see if they begin packing things up. Back to you.